First for my interview, I would just, introduce myself to the client, see how they're doing today, just general introductions. And then I would first move on to how they think of weight loss. So I would first ask them, what are your end goals for the whole entire program? And once they give that response, I would dive a little more into whether it would be muscle building, weight loss, or whatever else their goals are based on their response, obviously. And then I'd ask them what their definition of weight loss was. Everybody has different meanings of it, and I would do that just to figure out if they fully understood the process and what the program would consist of. And then after those couple questions, I'd move on to their previous experiences, and as well as the benefits and barriers. So it would be, the question I'd ask for that would be, can you tell me a little bit more about managing your weight in the past? So after they give me a response, I would ask, what worked for you? What did you struggle with? What do you think was the hard parts, easy parts? Things like that based on their response. And then after that question, based on what they say, if they have managed their weight in the past, I would ask them what it was like for them to be at a healthier weight. So kind of, did they feel better? Did they have more confidence? They feel better go out and doing things, feeling better in their clothes and stuff. Just get their personal experiences. And then I would ask them what they think their components of weight loss were. So, some people think it's solely exercise. So obviously we want everybody to know that it's nutrition along with exercise and getting out there and being physically active. So I think for them to fully understand that, you need to first understand what they think the proper way to being physically active and losing weight is. So that would be kind of a point where I would kind of probe a little bit and ask, okay, what do you think about nutrition? What do you think about exercise? And then the next question would be if they've had any experiences with a weight loss program before, because, you kind of want to figure out if you're working with somebody that's a little bit experienced, somebody that's completely new to this, or somebody that knows a little bit about it, just, kind of gauge where they're at with that. And if they had worked with a weight loss program before, ask them how it went and their thoughts on it. If they hadn't, maybe ask what kind of things interest you, intrigue you about a weight loss program. And then in the past, were there any barriers you thought were standing in your way of losing weight? If they say no, I would kind of list a couple, saying is there a gym that you said the gym was too far away, or do you just think you don't have as much knowledge as you should to participate in these programs? If they say, oh, I think this was my barrier, acknowledge that, okay, I understand that. We'll work through that and try to figure out ways around the barrier. And then the last question involving their barriers and benefits and stuff would be, do you have a good support system that will help you throughout the process? I would ask them to explain who their support system is if they said yes, and how these people will be able to support them throughout the entire process. Whether that's somebody at home or a best friend they can lean on. I think that's pretty important to have people that can help you throughout the entire journey. The third part would be the needs of the client. So one question I would ask would be, what do you feel a wellness coach should provide that will help you? Most people kind of are new to the wellness coaching thing, so they really don't have expectations right off. So if they struggle with coming up with expectations, I'll say, I'll give you nutrition facts, personal training, workouts, recommendations, anything you need. But obviously if they do have expectations and stuff, I will take those and work with those. And then the next part would be their feedback about a potential coaching process. So I would ask them, what do you think I can do to help meet those needs of the previous needs stated in the last question? So I'd go through each thing they mentioned, and if they struggle coming up, then, suggest some, saying, like I said before, the whole nutrition facts, maybe you need structured workouts, structured times, a schedule made for you. So kind of just gauge how they respond to these questions and, figure it out from there. And then I would just end with, thank you for your time. And if there's any questions they have, I'd obviously answer those. Anything about the entire process, about certain things that might be done, about reaching goals, setting goals, basically any questions they had, I could go through and one by one answer those for them if we hadn't covered it already. And then, send them on their way, and then we'll be in touch about another meeting. So.